Welcome to the Release Show. I'm your host, Brittany Sconyers. On today's show, we have a goal-oriented woman. Dr. Syleecia is a breast cancer survivor, a successful author, an entrepreneur, a brand strategist, entertainment manager, and an executive producer. She has worked with a range of major networks, record labels, and corporations in many capacities. Some of these brands include CBS, TV One, Aspire, Sister Circle, Marriage Boot Camp, and many more. She is a powerhouse of a woman, taking every industry by storm through her dedication and passion for seeing success in all of her pursuits. Let's welcome Dr. Syleecia.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, Brittany. Thank you for having me on the Release Show.
Thank you. Thank you. Women worldwide have heard of the famous Syleecia Thompson, who keeps making waves in multiple industries. What factors drive you to leave your footprint in different sectors?
Wow, what a question. You off the gate. Well, am I global? Yes. Okay. It's so interesting, Brittany, because sometimes people think we should be in a box.
Right.
So when I started after I graduated from college, so in my early 20s, I was going the safe route, but then it really was literally maybe 20 years ago. I started, 20 years this year, teaching as I'm a full-time professor, but I was doing adjunct work, part-time. Working in corporate America. Then I started working with my sister, Syleecia Johnson. I went on a tour with her, our Kelly TP2.com tour, Yeah. So I realized at that point, the safe, one-dimension corporate world route was not for me. And it's been the last 20 years, I've just been adding to my expertise, what I know. And sometimes when I look at my bio or people read my bio, sometimes I'm because I teach and help other people brand themselves.
Okay.
About myself, I'm like, girl, you all over the place too, but then it's really not. It all comes full circle. So working in music or entertainment, in education, I think it all comes together.
That's great. Every individual will grow up with a list of things they want to be in the future. What made you decide being a coach was the best profession for you?
Well, that's a part of what I do, right? So again, it goes back to my point. Over the years, I've gained a certain level of expertise in many areas. And then I found wow, this is a way to help other people transform their businesses or their brands. And coaching just came natural. People would reach out to me for opinions and advice. And then my thought process was maybe I can get paid for it. It's not free advice sometimes.
Right.
It's a natural progression. You know what I mean? Added that to it.
Well, that was me too. So how I came up with the Release Show was everybody would always come to me and tell me about their life story. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't I start a show that will allow people to share their stories to inspire other people? So it was kind of my thing too.
Yeah, it's good.
Building a business. Say it again.
I said that's good. And I love the concept of what you're doing. It's that's what I teach people. It's okay, people are telling you their business and their stories. How do you transform that and monetize it?
Right. Okay. That's great. Building a business, especially a successful one, is a difficult task. What was the process? What was the process involved with growing your business from scratch? What obstacles did you overcome?
Whew, you got these questions. That's a good question. That I always say this, I'm self-taught a lot of stuff. I had to learn a lot of things on my own, failures, success, ups and downs. And I also finance everything about my business. It is just now in the last 3 years, I started leveraging credit. I started to get business loans. Now with the pandemic, there's the PPP and the grants and things of that nature. But literally for the majority of me being an entrepreneur, I financed everything myself. Anything I made, I put back in. What I found is very difficult for any business owner to grow their business without people, staff, and team. Because I was the one the show, I still do a lot of stuff myself because it's like things I have to do. But now that I have a team, it's a small team. I work with rotating anywhere from 3 to 5 people, 3 constant solid people, and then I have graphic designers and website developers, people that I outsource stuff to. But you can't grow a business without people, right. And that's just it is what it is. Like you can't be your own accountant. You can't be your own attorney. Even though I've filed trademarks before myself, I have done accounting work, but again, I've gotten myself in some trouble too because I got audited. Okay. My trademark that I filed for myself years ago, it took a year, and then when I was working with a client and got their trademark done, it took less than 6 months because I got an attorney. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Do a lot of things on your own, but just know that some things are going to take longer. But so it's hard to grow a business without a team, just like it is hard to grow a business without capital.
That is so true. I was the same way. Like I was a one-woman show too. I was just like, I'm going to do it all. And then finally I got to my breaking point where I was like, no, I have to hire other people to help me with this because it's just too much. It's overwhelming. I'm also a full-time accountant for a property management company. I deal with our investors. So, a 9 to 5 and trying to do all these different projects too is becoming overwhelming. I was like, you know what? I have to hire a team. And I have a small team too, but I had to learn that the hard way myself.
Yeah, it's not, there's only so far you can go.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, I was over here making flyers down on the Canva. I still do it once in a while because I think it's fun. I was trying to make my own videos. I'm like, no, I'm sending this stuff out. This is great.
Yes, that's me too. So statistics show 20% of new businesses fail in the first 2 years. As an expert in business management, entrepreneurship, and strategy making, what are some of the reasons you see startups fail in the first 2 years?
Oh, it's simple. Kind of just what we said. Management or owner shortcomings. Right? You don't want to hire an attorney. You don't want to hire a tax person. You don't want to hire this person. So you get yourself jammed up. The failure to utilize social media appropriately and target your consumers. And sometimes government regulations or not following government regulations, not having your business in order. It's one thing to be a business. Everybody's running around talking, I'm a CEO of something. Like you haven't even filed your quarterly tax. Okay. You haven't even done your 1120 or your Schedule C. You're not even registered as an LLC S Corp. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
those 3 are the big ones. I think, management shortcomings, the failure to utilize social media to the best of your ability and attract your consumer appropriately, and government regulations or not having your business in order.
Okay. And I saw you do a show on Sister Circle with the do's and don'ts of social media. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I did a segment. It was geared towards like college students and kids, but it really, could apply to everyone. Right. And so towards the end of the interview, we got into just social media for entrepreneurs and business people, but just some do's and don'ts. And, I think there's a couple things here. And Brittany, you know this.
Yes.
When you're an entrepreneur and a small business owner, and where we are right now in 2021, like you literally have to use social media.
Right.
I coach and train so many entrepreneurs and they have great business concepts. I got people that's launching products and all this stuff. And they they don't like to post. They don't want to share. They don't want to do anything. And you just can't what are you going to put an ad out in the newspaper? Like, we're so far from that. Like, this isn't magazine days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even some of my younger entrepreneurs, they just don't want to use social media. So I think that's something people need to overcome quickly.
Yes.
But, you know, and then, you know, do's, and there's so many around that. But, you know, it's a great segment. You can go to Sister Circle's page. The show is, you know, no longer in effect, but they still have their YouTube page up. You can go to Sister Circle and just type in Syleecia Thompson Sister Circle. You can find the interview I did. But just talking about how to aesthetically make your page appealing, best times to post, understanding that you are the brand. Mm-hmm. I preach on that a lot. So being mindful. You know, a lot of people don't know how to engage on social media. So it's just so much. And then, you know, posting recklessly, you know, anything you put on there is going to end up in this dark web, and people can find anything. So it was a good segment. That's why I found going through some old videos, and I was like, oh, again, because I got content for days. It's just like I cut it up myself and edit it, but you know. But I was like, I feel like sharing. I shared another post today too about branding on a budget, and I think later on I'm gonna share another video as well.
Okay, yeah, I've noticed that too recently, that you've been sharing these videos, and I did see the one this morning about branding on a budget, which I think is very important. You know, a lot of people, when they have brands, they feel like they're supposed to use all this money to on marketing, and you don't really have to if you learn how to market on a budget. And it's very important to have a budget for marketing, because otherwise you're not going to be successful. Marketing is key. And social media, especially these days, that's how you're going to make your brand successful too, is by marketing yourself on social media and engaging with people. You know, now they have all these different avenues. You got Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have Clubhouse. Have you joined Clubhouse? Do you do anything on Clubhouse?
I am on Clubhouse. When it first kind of started, big buzz, I had two really good rooms. I did one for women in music and entertainment. We're talking about some of our issues. And then I did one on like knowing your passion and purpose. A client of mine, Dr. Delamichael, does a Clubhouse like every week. She's supposed to do it today, but she didn't. But she's on all the time. Like, she loves it. She's grown her brand. Like, she's bigger on Clubhouse than me. You know? Okay. Because I'm on it, I jump in and out of rooms. I'm on panels sometimes, but I do like Clubhouse. I think it's a good platform because you don't have to, you know, like we was putting on makeup this morning. And all I got is a little bronzer on. But we don't have to do that on Clubhouse, right? We get to phone like, yeah, I think.
Yes. You know? I think it's pretty cool too.
I like Clubhouse.
As a goal-oriented woman, you've tried your hands in multiple things and came out triumph. One of these projects includes your album, Woman. What inspired you to try the music industry and produce the album?
Now, I didn't produce the album. Okay. So I was co-executive producer. Okay. It's Selena's album.
Okay.
So you know that. It's Selena's album, but, you know, as her sister and manager, I was co-executive producer. And then what we did was so this is a good point. So I think you're talking about also the documentary we did on the project where I was executive producer. So we got Selena's album, which is Woman. And then we took that while that process was happening. We filmed everything. Like we have content for days, and we actually are premiering this Wednesday, March 31st, for Women's History Month on Fox Soul, the concert of the making of a woman, right?
Okay.
So we did part one, we did part two. You can go to Fox Soul YouTube page and see the making of a woman part one, part two, and then Wednesday is the finale. It's the concert of that. So that's a good point, because I in the last couple of years, got into this executive producer role of producing projects. You know, I have my own show called The Startup. It's a digital show on Clio TV. I'm going to try to bring that back this year, and I'm doing So I really like the executive producer concept. And I really like that lane. With the pandemic, I launched an entire new company called Dr. Syleecia Productions Corp. And it's an S Corp. And so I want to bring more projects under that. So I like the executive producing piece. It's just with my book got in the way, I also launched a little digital series on my Facebook page called The Resilience Factor after my book. Mm-hmm. So I just have that passion for creating with purpose and creating content and creating projects and things of that nature. So it's exciting because I think with the internet, again, social media and technology with phones, mm-hmm. we can create our own reality. So
yes, we can. Besides being a coach, you're also an author. Your recent book, The Resilience Factor. What is this book about, and what do you hope readers gain from it? Yes, I got my copy too.
Shameless plug here. Well, it is The Resilience Factor: How to Face Adversity, Trauma, and Tragedy Like a Superhero. It is, it's just my story, my journey. It's a testament to how life brings you unexpected things, and we gotta move on. Like we gotta keep going. And so many people don't understand resilience and their resilience factor. And so the book is about me, but it's not really for me. It's for other people to tap into their own resilience factor. It's for other people to realize that they are superheroes. And I know people, there's a journal in here, it's my life story and journey, but I wanted to share my trauma and tragedy with other people in hopes they would overcome and realize they are resilient. There's a journal in here that's your self-discovery journal. I have a little picture gallery, but it's a really good book, easy read, because I know people ain't reading no more. So it's 100 pages. Everybody's like, when you gonna do the audio book? I'm like, well, y'all just read. 128 pages. My mother got done with it in a day.
Yes. That's true. And you have pictures and you have how to fill out your journal and stuff like that. So some of those pages are not even taken into account for a reading. So yes, you could definitely get done with this book in a day. And please go out and purchase it. I got mine on Amazon. Where else is it sold?
It is, and it was the #1 new release.
Yes, congratulations.
Which is very big for me, a #1 bestseller. I'm still overcoming this whole breast cancer this literally just happened a couple of months ago, and still in recovery phase. So you can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Barnes and Noble. The ebook right now is on sale for only $2.99. If you want a signed copy, you can go to my website, which is drsyleecia.com, but you can get it wherever books are sold. So I'm excited about it. I'm going to do another part. So I'm going to do 2 more parts to it. So I'm already on the second part, the resilience factor, the second part. So I'm very excited. I know you said you have a book too.
Yes, I have my copy right here.
Oh, your own book.
Oh yeah, I do have my own book. Yes. I finally found me. I published that in 2016, and I want to do a upgraded version of it soon. I want to change the name to Flawed but Blessed. So yes, I'm working on that as well. I love writing books. I've written 3 children's books. 1 is out, and I have. I tried to, with my daughter, release a book on her birthday. So her next book is Fearless Girl, that's coming out on her birthday. So I enjoy writing children's and about people's lives, inspirational things. That's what I like to do.
Oh, awesome.
So back to, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Back to your breast cancer survivor. I want you to take us down through the road of what you went through, your journey of experiencing breast cancer.
Well, I share it in my book. I literally 20, and I give you kind of my journey, because it was in 2013, I suffered a stillbirth, right? So I was 27 and a half weeks. My daughter's heart stopped and I was having difficulties in the pregnancy. I couldn't get her to grow. And I went in, did the ultrasound. You know how you go in and do the ultrasound? Ultrasound tech. This is in 2013. Was doing this, on the stomach, because I was going in every week just to check if there were issues. And she left out the room and I was in there for 20 minutes. The reason why she left out the room is because she went somewhere to break down and cry. Oh, and when she never came back after that long period of time, I was like, I know something is wrong. I got on the phone, was texting. So I guess protocol is for them to leave and have the doctor come out. But because she was so emotionally invested in me, she was like, she couldn't handle it. So that happened in 2013. I gained weight with that, went through a depression. And then so when I lost weight, I ended up going on this real strict routine. The health is wealth. I lost 70 pounds. I'm thinking I'm doing my thing. I'm like, I lost 70 pounds. I'm like, okay. And then 2019, I felt a lump. I was like, this is weird. Immediately ran to my gynecologist. She was like, yeah, it's weird. So I'm going to send you to another ultrasound. I had a ultrasound and they did a look at it and they were like, it's giving me, they were like, oh, they didn't know. So then they did the biopsy and they went in and tested and it was like, it was breast cancer. Totally changed my whole world. And I talk about in my book how I was like, you think you're doing something with your health and wellness, but mine was ER/PR positive breast cancer, stage 1. It was really stage 2, but when they took the tumor out, it was the size of a strawberry. But my doctor is always like, just say stage 1 because it's out now. Why you want to claim it? Claim stage 2. It was the size, could be stage 2. And so when they took it out, it was deeper than it was bigger than they thought. And it was ER/PR positive, which is estrogen progesterone based. So again, I was producing too much estrogen and releasing it. And then, we all have cancer cells in our bodies that are waiting to be fed, and the estrogen was feeding the cancer. It was just total devastation because you're thinking, I'm losing all this weight, but again, fat releases estrogen. And also in my 40s. And then I also don't have children. So there's a lot of fat. That's why they tell a lot of women to breastfeed. It reduces your chance of breast cancer. And then you got fatty tissue. It's just, I talk about in my book how the world just punishes us for being women.
Yes. Yes.
So that was really life-changing. And I wanted my book to be a tool. So I kind of talk about how I went, again, I'm the type of person, you tell me something, I'm going to be depressed about it and be down for like a minute. But then I'm like, okay, let's go into superhero routine. I think I'm Wonder Woman, literally. Everybody's got their own superhero. And you just have to go. I just went into, okay, what do? I went to a strict diet. My nutritionist gave me this very strict diet to prepare me for surgery. And just get my body ready. And so now then the pandemic hit, more drama and stress. So I done gained 15 pounds, girl, back. Maybe 20. So I got to get rid of that. So it's just a whole thing.
Oh, okay. So how did the pandemic affect your life outside of breast cancer? Like how did it affect your businesses?
Last year was crazy because I did really well in my business. I was already prepared just from what I had been doing for years and I already knew how to monetize my brand. So Syleecia and I both transitioned a lot of things virtually. Although I had to cancel festivals and concerts, I was able to shift a bit, and so, but, I think personally it impacted me because with the pandemic, we also had social unrest. And so we had the racial tension and then stress. I was just coming off of radiation. So radiation was the end of 2019. Then I started the year. I was just trying to turn the corner. I had to, I'm still on this medication just to kind of prevent breast cancer again. So I started that, and then you get the pandemic. And so now you're figuring out so you research, you're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, got to keep my immunity strong and all this stuff. It really stressed me out. My vitamin D levels dropped very low. Again, we're not outside. We're not as active. Nobody's going anywhere. You got to take vitamin D3. And that's a lot of these people that got COVID, they looked at their vitamin D3 levels, especially Black people, and they were low. So it's just, I learned a lot. It was a gift and a curse, but so many people had lost their lives. So many people suffered. But from a business standpoint, it just made me know that I'm on the right path because I already was virtual doing a lot of stuff. And so it was interesting. It was interesting. It was a gift and a curse. It really was.
Yeah, it was. I agree with you. A gift and a curse. Sorry to all those people who did get COVID and those who lost their lives and all the negative things that happened in 2020. But, we also have to celebrate the great things that happened in 2020. A lot of people told me that their businesses actually thrived through 2020, which was surprising to me because of what was going on in the world. But I'm happy that your business, you are already on board with doing virtual things and you already had a plan that you were able to continue to be successful with your businesses.
Yeah.
Yes. You were an active member of the famous Sister Circle as a contributor. What is it like being an active contributor on this show and influencing lives?
Wow, great question. Well, people will say, oh, it's because your sister was Selena. But I still had to know what I was talking about. Selena being an actual host on the show afforded me the opportunity. And then here's the thing. I've done interviews before. I've done things before. I was on a whole reality show with Selena. My family did Fix My Life. So it's not like I was new to TV, but just new, as in that aspect. But you have to have a certain level of knowledge and expertise. And so I was blessed to be on there 3 times, with all different topics that are in my level area of expertise. But I think that's important, especially as for women and Black women. We need to be seen on TV. You don't have to be super famous to go on and share what you know and how it can help other people.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Lastly, we'd like to know your plans for the future. Where do you see yourself in the next decade? What new goals do you wish to achieve in the coming years?
Well, I hope to be a multimillionaire. Okay. And, again, more in the creative space, executive producing, more in the, with launching more online courses, more books, more educating, helping other women, helping Black people. And I think, somewhere hopefully in 10, you said 10 years, that whole span, hopefully I'm on a beach a whole bunch. Me and my husband, whoever, I know who it's going to be, but me and my husband.
Okay.
And just doing my thing and hopefully just impacting people, whatever it is that I do, creating with purpose, educating people still and helping people out,
I love it. I love it. Keep creating, keep blessing and inspiring other people around the world and keep doing what you're doing. You are a multi-talented woman.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm so happy that I had the chance to interview you.
Well, thank you so much. I thank you for, having me come on and tell my story or share with your audience. It's a great platform. I wish you much success as well. And, everyone get my book.
Yes.
Amazon today. Okay.
Yes.
And we can, I think everyone should tell their story. I really do.
I think it's very important that we do because you may not think your life is inspirational, but it could inspire someone. You just never know what you could do by sharing your story, your experiences. Oh, just another thing. Do you plan to do a TED Talk?
People have asked me about that. And years ago, I would investigate how to get it done. And I think they're more simple now.
Yeah.
So again, that's more work. I have to tell my assistant to go investigate and look it up. I got too many projects, Brittany. You would be like, "Oh, this is too much."
Wow. No, I see you on social media. I know you have a lot going on. I see you, girl. But I do think you should do a TED Talk. I think it would be amazing to see you as a TED speaker. So,
no, I received that. I'm going to look into it. I've always wanted to do one. So,
that's good. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and I look forward to seeing more of your work in the future.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for tuning into the Release Show. See you next time.